Beer here back at the Fantasy Bar. It's Friday. Let's talk some NBA. Let's go happy hour. 6 plays for you under 8K on both sites, including some games I'm looking at to stack up, some of my favorite value plays, some guys I think are underpriced, and of course, my favorite play of the night. Who we talking about? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Friday edition, happy hour edition here. Beer's Daily Fantasy 6-pack slashing prices here, making lineup building easy on both FanDuel and DraftKings. Thank you, as always, for stopping by and checking out the video. Now, before we get into the plays for Friday night, some housekeeping. As always, guys, these videos are free. All I ask in return, click that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, get notified when these videos are coming out. Have a wild card weekend 6-pack out. If you haven't checked that out, go and check it out. Also, a sports betting video, 2 of my favorite NFL bets for this weekend. So go check that out as well. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any of the videos here in the Fantasy Bar. Also, speaking of sports betting, make sure you're heading over to scoresandodds.com/beer for everything sports betting, not just NFL, all the major sports. NBA guys have been on fire with the props and spread picks. Go and check it out today. That link in the description of the video. All right, let's get to our happy hour here. Guys I think are underpriced, guys in the mid-range, everybody under 8K here. Let's start at point guard or small forward with Kevin Porter Jr. of the Rockets. Now, this is a game we obviously want to circle here tonight. A high-paced potential track meet here. Both of these teams ranking inside the top 5 of the NBA in pace. So this should really be an up-and-down game, which I think is great for a guy like Kevin Porter Jr., who we know can get up and down the floor. Obviously, a buy low here as well. 6K on DraftKings, under 6K on FanDuel. We know the level of upside that this guy has, so it's only a matter of time before this price starts to shoot up. So let's get in and buy low here while we can. Sacramento, we know that defense, not very good. Bottom 10 against all 3 positions that Porter may play here. So it really doesn't matter how he lines up. The point is the matchup is good. It's a fast-paced game, and his price is simply too low here on both sides. All right, let's go to the other side of that game. A little correlation with small forward, power forward, Harrison Barnes. Here's another guy. I think the ceiling, the upside that he brings to the table each and every night, very, very much in play at these prices. Now, we don't get that every night, but this is exactly what we're looking for in tournaments. Guys that carry a mid-range price point, but guys that can drastically outproduce their price point. I think Harrison Barnes checks both of those boxes for us. Also, if you're looking in cash games, he does give you that floor. He's going to play enough minutes. He's going to do enough in all of the statistical categories to carry you in cash games. So really an attractive option, any format that you're playing tonight, especially with this matchup. Houston has really struggled against mostly all positions, but second most fantasy points allowed this season to the power forward position. Harrison Barnes, like Kevin Porter Jr., too cheap for this matchup here tonight. All right, next pick for us. Let's spend a little money here at power forward center with Evan Mobley of the Cavs. Do you want to talk about consistency? Mobley has certainly delivered that. Only gone under 30 DraftKings points twice over the last 10 games. So productive night in, night out, and another guy that contributes across the entire stat sheet. Why do we bring that up? Because then if the guy has a bad shooting night, he drops off in one of the categories, it doesn't necessarily affect us fantasy point wise. He can get there in a variety of ways. And if everything's clicking, that's when you unveil those 50, 55, 60 point ceilings that I think he is certainly capable of here. In San Antonio, a struggle against bigs. Power forward, centers, does not matter. They are bottom 6 against both of those positions. They may be a little bit thin once again here tonight. Evan Mobley, solid option here against the San Antonio Spurs. All right, let's go back to Value Town at point guard, shooting guard with Jordan Poole of the Warriors. Now, this is what I think we're going to get very low ownership on. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But what do we know? Klay Thompson going to rest in this back-to-back against the Chicago Bulls here tonight. Golden State blown off the floor by my Milwaukee Bucks last night. But when you run the numbers in our Court IQ tool, when you take Klay Thompson, who is a very limited sample, obviously, but Draymond Green and Gary Payton III off the floor, the usage right there with Steph Curry at over 28% for Jordan Poole. They're going to need Jordan Poole's offense here. Curry can't do it all. And I really think we're going to see him bounce back here tonight. So as far as the ownership goes, we got the recent performances have not been great. We know Jordan Poole started out the season on fire. That has cooled down a little bit. And Chicago, very good defensively against guards. So I think the combination of all those things is going to have Jordan Poole less than 10% owned. We know the level of upside he has here. I think the Warriors bounce back. Again, Steph Curry can't do it all. I think you see Jordan Poole step into that Robin role here tonight and bounce back with a big game against the Chicago Bulls. All right, we'll stay at point guard, shooting guard next with CADE Cunningham of the Pistons. So another one of my favorite buy lows. We talked about Kevin Porter Jr. and CADE Cunningham drastically underpriced here on FanDuel at just $6K. DraftKings about where he should be. I don't hate playing him over there as well, but really a FanDuel-centric play here with CADE Cunningham. We know the guy has triple-double upside every time he takes the floor with his ability, with the rebounding, with the assists. We know the scoring will be there for this Pistons team as well. And again, some people don't like the home-away splits, but something we have to look at here with CADE Cunningham. But almost 6 fantasy points per game better in his home arena here. So it's a little home cooking here with Toronto coming into town tonight. It's way too cheap here on FanDuel at just $6K. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for Friday night. Before we do that, guys, we want to continue our Beast of the Night contest. Free to play, easy to play. All you got to do, get in the comment section right below the video and guess fantasy points on FanDuel for my favorite play of the night. The closest guess is going to win themselves a free week of RotoGrinders Premium. Chance to check everything out behind the scenes. So without further ado, let's wrap this baby up. My favorite play for happy hour here on Friday. You know him as the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time, like we promised, we'll stay under 8K with all 6 of our plays tonight, including the Beast. We are going back to the well on point guard, shooting guard, Cole Anthony of the Orlando Magic, tonight's Beast of the Night. So Cole Anthony was very good to us the other night, almost triple-doubled in that game, and I want to go back to the well here tonight against Charlotte. Orlando going to be without Wendell Carter Jr. once again. Mo Bamba questionable. You're asking, what the hell does that have to do with the guard? Well, when you run the numbers here, surprisingly, Cole Anthony gets a nice boost, and it makes sense. Wendell Carter Jr., a nice offensive piece here for the Orlando Magic. Without a guy like Mo Bamba, that's more rebounding that Cole Anthony has to do. So he's another guy that can chip in across the entire stat sheet. Like we said, almost triple-doubled the other night, but that usage jumps to almost 30% with both of those guys out, averaging almost 1.3 fantasy points per minute, has gone over 30 fantasy points in every single game he has played against the Charlotte Hornets. So maybe a little friendly rivalry here with LaMelo Ball. Point being, Cole Anthony under 8K, a steal. The upside is there, the matchup is there, and he is my favorite play of the night, making him tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that wraps up for Friday in the Fantasy Bar with a little happy hour. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the segment and the savings. If you have any comments, questions, feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Don't forget, fantasy points for Cole Anthony on FanDuel for your shot at some free RotoGrinders Premium. And make sure you're checking out all the other videos here in the Fantasy Bar with that Wild Card Weekend 6-pack and betting video. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Enjoy the NBA tonight and good luck in your contest. Enjoy the football this weekend. Good luck there as well. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the Fantasy Bar. I greatly appreciate it, guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist